You know that story we're all told that as the years add up, you're just supposed to slow down, get weaker, and accept that your body just doesn't work like it used to. But what if that story is just wrong? What if the decline we all seem to fear isn't nearly as inevitable as we've been led to believe? Today, I'm going to dig into the real truth about aging and just how much power you actually have to build a stronger, healthier future. So let's start with a classic, a question I bet everyone has asked at some point. You hit the gym, you're feeling strong, you're building muscle, but then life just happens. You stop for a few months and then you look in the mirror and everything's a little bit softer. You did all that hard work and the muscle just magically turns into fat. It's one of the biggest fitness myths. So let's just bust it wide open right now. The short answer is a hard no. Not just unlikely, it's physiologically impossible for fat to turn into muscle. Why? Because they're two completely different things. On the one hand, you have adipose tissue, and that's your fat. It's basically a bunch of soft, swishy cells designed to do one thing, and that's store energy. On the other hand, you've got skeletal muscle, dense protein fibers that contract to create movement. They have a totally different structure and totally different jobs. You cannot turn a fuel tank into an engine. So why does it feel like a transformation? It's an illusion created by two separate things happening at the same time. When you stop training, the muscles shrink from disuse. That's atrophy. It's the use it or lose it. At the same time, you're eating the same way when you were training hard, so you're probably in a calorie surplus. Where do those extra calories go? Stored fat. So your body composition changes, but one thing absolutely does not turn into another. All right, so if we're not worried about muscle turning into fat, what are the real threats to our strength and vitality as we get older? There are two big ones we really need to understand. The first is sarcopenia, the clinical term age-related muscle loss. This isn't about looking good on the beach. It's about function. It's about what makes climbing a flight of stairs feel like a marathon or carrying your grocery bags a massive chore. It's the number one reason people lose their independence in later life. The second threat is osteoporosis, where our bones start to lose density and become weak and brittle. And here's the part that gets a lot of people. This process doesn't start when you're old. It begins in your mid-30s, slowly setting the stage for potentially devastating fractures down the road. Now, sarcopenia and osteoporosis, I know they sound pretty grim, but what if I told you there's a proven way to absolutely slash the risk of serious bone fractures by 50%? That number comes from a simple comparison. Active older adults versus those who are sedentary. Being active literally cuts your risk of an osteoporosis fracture in half. That is a massive difference, and all the proof we need that how we live our lives can matter so much more than the date on our driving license. And that brings us to what I think is the most powerful idea we're going to talk about today. When we hear the term age-related all the time, our brains automatically translate into age-caused. They are not the same thing. For decades, the story was that losing muscle was just the price of admission for getting old. But the latest science is telling a very different story. We've been blaming the wrong culprit. For a long time, the scientific consensus pointed its finger at something called anabolic resistance. Basically, the idea that as you get older, your body gets worse at taking in the protein you eat and using it to build and repair muscle. This was accepted as a sad fact of aging. But here's the big reveal. The primary driver isn't your age. It's your activity level or lack thereof. It's the chain reaction. Reduced activity causes anabolic resistance, which in turn causes muscle loss. Age is just kind of hanging around while all this happens. So the correlation is not the causation. But if we look at the end of the chain here, there's a reversal. Because resistance training, lifting weights, is the key. It's what flips the switch that tells your body to start building muscle again, no matter how old you are. So, we know we can reverse this decline, but what's the game plan? The blueprint for a long, strong life can be broken into 5 essential evidence-based pillars. So, first, pillar number 1, healthy eating. This isn't about some crazy complicated diet. It's about consistency. You need 3 balanced meals a day, and in each of those meals, you want to get what's called protein pulse, a dose of to 40 grams of protein. So think of each pulse as a signal you're sending your body that says, hey, it's time to build some muscle. The second pillar is hydration. This one is sneaky because as we get older, our natural sense of thirst actually declines and starts to fade. That means you can be walking around dehydrated and not even realizing it. And staying hydrated isn't just for your muscles. It's critical for keeping your brain firing on all cylinders. And the habit is really simple. Aim for 6 to 8 cups of fluid every single day. That can be herbal teas or anything you like as well. You don't have to drink just plain water. Pillar number 3, quality sleep. I'm always banging on about this to my clients. This is the foundation that everything is built on. Get this, just one bad night of sleep throws your hunger hormones completely out of whack. It cranks up the hormone that makes you hungry and turns down the one that tells you you're full. Do that night after night and you're fighting a battle of willpower. You are destined to lose. Pillar number 4, moderating alcohol. There's no way to sugarcoat this one. Too much alcohol is a direct assault on your longevity goals. Actively slows down muscle building and it accelerates bone loss. The general guideline is to keep it under 14 units a week so that you're not actively working against all your other efforts. Number 5, stress management. Stress makes you physically less capable of eating mindfully, and so just let that sink in for a second. Chronic stress is attacking you on 2 fronts. Biologically, the stress hormone, cortisol, literally breaks down your muscle and bone tissue, and behaviorally it hijacks your brain's reward centers, pushing you to high-calorie comfort foods. Best defense, activities that get you into a flow state, something that absorbs your attention so completely that the stress just melts away. Gardening, yoga, whatever it is for you. So after all of this, what's the one single truth to walk away with? It really never truly is too late to start. That's the story of inevitable decline. It's just that, a story. It does not have to be your reality. So I'll leave you with one question. After everything we've just covered, what is the one single choice you're going to make today, not tomorrow, but today, to start building a better future for yourself?